Your inner child is scared and seeks safety, but your inner teenager is angry and wants justice for what happened. Your inner teenager is the one that says F that. And if you're not careful, you may be hitting the F button that includes some self-sabotage, not the F it button that includes a whole lot of freedom for yourself. So today we're going to be talking about some ways to heal that inner teenager. So the rebellious teenager yearns for respect and autonomy and to be seen and witnessed and heard and valued and acknowledged and accepted. And if we didn't get that between the ages of 13 and 19, it may be manifesting in our current relationships. Could be showing up in patterns. I married my mother. I became my father. I left home at an early age. I was certainly a great kid up until the time I left home. Then did become a rebellious teenager, leaving at 16 and not stopping running until I was 40 years old. I was an addict out for 20 years. I am now celebrating 7 years clean thanks to emotional intelligence, which we're going to be talking a lot about in this space. So it could be showing up in your relationships. Unhealed inner teenager could be showing up with repressed emotions. Maybe you didn't learn how to process emotions. There's a process for processing emotions your way, not the right way. Or maybe you have big reactions. Maybe you're emotionally dysregulated a lot. So we want to make our decisions from a place of clarity and emotional regulation. It can cause constant stress. Unhealed inner teenager can cause constant stress and overwhelm, creating a lot of fatigue. Perhaps there's still scars or wounds from your very first relationship or sexual encounter, or maybe you never learned how to process those emotions like we talked about earlier. And these unresolved issues can manifest in a various number of ways in your life, including health issues eventually if it's not looked at. So here are some things that you can say to yourself to start connecting to your inner teenager. I'm sorry for what happened to you. It's not your fault. I forgive you. You are not your mistakes. You are your growth. I'm proud of you. You have my permission to be unapologetically you. Aren't those beautiful things to start saying to that part of you that didn't get what you needed? And speaking of that, another way to start healing your inner teenager is to start doing journal prompts. Now these journal prompts are going to dig in a little bit deeper, so you want to take some time with them. So you'll want to go back and rewatch this video to pick up each of them. I encourage you to take one of these journal prompts a day. So get one, work on it, come back the next day, revisit the video, get the second one, work on it. These are going to take you deep. These can be layered. And the first one, and we want to make sure you're hitting the right F it button. There is an F it button that leads to freedom, not to any more self-sabotage for yourself. Enough of that. Stop it. No more self-sabotage. So the first question is, when did my inner teenager first feel betrayed or hurt? So between the ages of 13 and 19, what happened to you? And was there support around you? And if there wasn't support around you, how did that make you feel? Okay, that's number one. Number two is, what needs were not met when you were a teen? So a good thing to ask yourself, if, say for instance, acceptance was a need of yours as a teenager and you didn't get that, perhaps you encountered some bullying or in your family or at school, and your need for acceptance and to be understood wasn't met. Are you able to give that to yourself now in your adulthood? That's a big one. You're here now. You're here running the ship, taking care of everything. You can give yourself everything that you did not get as a teenager. The third one is a pretty important one, and this is, when does your rebellious inner teenager act out? So this is where self-awareness comes into play and a little bit of self-regulation. So when do your wounds come up? When do your wounds come up? When do your triggers come up? And when they come up, how do you react to them? Do you have big reactions that seem like a unevolved, not emotionally intelligent teenager acting out? If that's the case, then you want to cope ahead for that. You want to know what your triggers and wounds are and cope ahead for managing those effectively the next time they do come up. The other one is, what emotions am I repressing and or having big reactions around? What specific emotions? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it woulda, coulda, shoulda? You know, what are the primary themes of emotions that you felt as a teenager, and are they carrying over into your adult life? If you're repressing them, how can you learn to express them? And if you feel like you may be reacting in big ways, how can you create more self-soothing? How can you create more self-regulation? How can you create more mind-body homeostasis through some grounding techniques? And we're going to be talking a lot about all of this as we grow together in this space. And the last one is, what do you need in order to feel safe for your inner teen to speak out and use their voice? What do you need in order to feel safe, to show up and be seen, to show up and finally be heard? What is it that you need? And once again, the question's going to come up. Is that something that you can give to yourself? Okay? All right, guys, use these phrases and journal prompts to heal your inner teen. So you hit the right F it button that says, I'm going to be me no matter what. I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm going to express myself freely, and I'm going to love myself for it. If you guys need some extra assistance, you can reach out to me at contact@lisa-lacy.com. That's contact@lisa-lacy.com. We've got some amazing coaching programs coming out, and look for another video sometime this week coming out that's going to be a meditation to actually heal your inner teenager. And you're going to want to listen to that over and over, because each time you listen to that, there's going to be light codes in it, and each time you listen to that and watch it, there's going to be healing in it for you. So, all right, my friends, peace, much love. Let's get our healing on. If you need me, you know where to reach me. Shoot me an email. Good luck with these.